people's minds, lest they tempt people to think in new and dangerous directions. And so, not for the first time, and I fear me not for the last, the flames consume that which might implement man's knowledge of man and his universe. Except, of course, no one must destroy those cunning instruments of war. They must be saved. For such weapons, the Duke of Milan will have use. Of course, because it is those that deny the truth who have the greatest need to kill and to maim. And it was this edict that made Leonardo first regret his genius. The edict that saved the evil and destroyed the good. Now you'd say that's enough to send a man back to his painting. But even Leonardo's artistic creativeness seems crippled, for his insatiable mind must always puzzle over the mysteries of the universe. There are so many things that man does not know, and not knowing is deprived of the fullness of life. Why, for instance, is the bird able to sustain itself in the air? Why can't man be master of the wind and rise up in the skies and fly? Why? Leonardo must find out. So, discretion being the better part of valor, Leonardo removes himself and his curiosity away from Milan and its tyranny. In the year 1515, we find him in France, in the village of Cou. Why can't man fly? That question harasses him for years, and for years there is no answer. Until finally, after 1,000 experiments, after 1,000 theories had been exploded and 1,000 mathematical problems solved, Leonardo conceives and executes a flying machine he feels at last must fly, because he's mastered every reason why it should not. Of course, the very thought is ridiculous. Man wasn't made to fly. If so, the good Lord would have sprouted feathers on his shoulders. And even if some fantastic contraption was made to soar through the air, what good would it be? No man would dare fly on it. He couldn't breathe. The human body was not created to move faster than the gallop of a running horse. Why, when a man falls from the top of a building, he's dead long before he hits the ground. His heart stops beating. The machine does fly. And in Leonardo's moment of triumph, he realizes again how weak these mortals be. They're afraid. And in all the vast realm of human fear, there is no fear like the ignorance, fear of the unknown. But this must be the devil's work, and one must run and hide. Hide from the evil one's handicraft. Hide lest the very sight corrupt you. Hide, hide until the evil thing is gone. And yes, even in this enlightened era of culture and progress, there is uppermost the thought of destruction. Destroy the flying machine. Tear it to tatters. Stone the man who built the unclean thing. For only angels fly. Angels and devils, not man. Man was made for the earth. A clod who must walk with his feet in the dust. Again, Leonardo realizes that man is not yet ready to escape his self-made limitations. Not ready to sanction anything his father wasn't born to. Man is still asleep, still unawakened to the vastness of his opportunities. Man is still fettered by his past, unwilling to free himself for his great future. Leonardo a genius, did I say? Perhaps only a lone voice crying in the wilderness. His decision is bitter, but inevitable. He must destroy all evidence of his 1,001 inventions, his plans and schemes and machines that could only enrich life and lift it to inconceivable heights. For instance, the time has not yet come when the world could appreciate the parachute. And this parachute of Leonardo's is the first one man ever wrought, in prevision of a world to come. But its description is recorded for future generations in a strange cryptography of Leonardo's own invention, a cipher he hopes will not be readable until the world is also smart enough to use the knowledge it now conceals. And then the parachute is consigned to the flames by the man who first realized its life-saving potentialities. A genius, did I say? Leonardo invented the modern roller bearing, the present-day universal joint and transmission gears, indispensable parts of the automobile era. But he thought of them 450 years ago. And then by tracking human vision to its source in the human eye and brain, Leonardo produced a camera obscura, a 4-century-ago forerunner of today's snapshot maker. And oh yes, the movies. So into the flames with the camera, too. Why give to man the blessings man is too dumb to appreciate? And into the fire must go the first multiple belt drive, a little trifle without which civilization could never have built its machine age. And so on, and 100 more. A wealth of boons and benefits, that first saw discovery and execution in the brain of our genius, who, on the 2nd day of May in the year 1519, and in his 67th year, having completed the secret record of his lifetime work, he found that the work was done, the life was over, the troubles ended. And so he died, leaving behind him his mysterious book, the record of all his achievements in this weird and undecipherable code. Undecipherable until, more than 4 full centuries later, today, Leonardo da Vinci comes into his own. For scholars have at last found a way to break the code of his cryptography. He wrote his notes backward, and he broke up his words arbitrarily. But there it is, recorded in detail, the hundreds of those inventions which he was the first to conceive, and for which our present-day world plumes itself so proudly.